Welcome back to League of List Builders, focus on Bryan Harris, and we're going to go ahead and get into part 2 of this training. We are going to be getting a little bit more complicated, not too much more complicated, but a little bit more complicated. So sit back, buckle up, and let's get into it. Okay, so here we are on our handy dandy mind map, and we're going to go ahead and crack open part 2 of this training. So part 2 is going to consist of 5 more tactics for building your list. And the first one is the classic lead magnet. What I do want to show you is how Bryan Harris does lead magnets and how I learned to do them through him. I don't always do them this way, but this is a great way to do them. And it's a really good way to get started, especially if you've never really done a lead magnet before yourself and you're not sure how to get started and which way to go. This is a great way to utilize to do it. So let's go ahead and do this. And he does it in 3 steps. All right, and we're going to go step 1 or step A here. What you want to do is you want to create a call to action for the lead magnet first, right? You don't start off with just creating the lead magnet. You figure out what the call to action would be for the lead magnet. And the way you do this is you find 5 top blogs in your niche. You know, like if you're in the model airplane niche, then you go over to Google, you type in model airplane blog, right? And you're going to find the blogs coming up on the very first page of Google will be some of the top blogs in that niche, or they wouldn't be ranking on that first page. So really you're looking for stuff on the first page of Google. Okay, so you find 5 top blogs in your niche, write down the blog post titles that stand out to you. When you get to that blog, you start writing down blog post titles that stand out to you. You write them down in a document, right? Like in an Excel spreadsheet or a Google Sheets document, whatever you use for a spreadsheet, write them down in a spreadsheet, write the titles down. Also, write down lead magnets that those websites have that they kind of stand out to you. Whatever their lead magnet is, whatever they're using to attract people, write that down. Okay. For instance, if I'm not going to go away from the mind map too much, guys, because we had a lot to cover today, but I will do it just to show you here really quick. If I go model airplane blogs, I'm going to, there we go. They start pulling up, right? Academy of Model Aeronautics blog, right? Let's just go to this one really quick. And we'll see what kind of articles are we getting, right? So AMA Clubs blog. Let's go to this blog here. And we're just looking for stuff that kind of makes sense. And maybe this was a bad one because I don't know anything about model airplanes. And also, they don't have that great of a website, to be honest with you. I don't see anything that's list building whatsoever, which is not very smart. But ideally, you'd be coming over here and you'd be looking for, posts that kind of stand out to you, like flying site, grant, recipient, finishes, field improvement projects. That is horrible. So this is not a good example. Non-recreational pilots want to practice at our field. Now what? This is very much a just an informational blog. And man, there is zero that would make someone really want to read that. They need some help. Motion RC Knowledge blog. Let's see if we can find something better. All right. Loose bearing pockets on your elevator shaft. Here's a fix. This is what I'm talking about. Now, this is a good call to action, right? So this is a blog title, but it represents something that would make someone click on that to read it. Right. So this also could potentially be something that you could kind of model after to come up with a call to action for a lead magnet. Right. And that's what I'm saying. When you look on here, you can kind of find some articles. One thing they're not doing is they're not list building. here, but this is a fringe niche. I mean, we're in the model airplanes niche, so I mean, you can't go by that too much. But the point is, I think I just saw something there, but anyways, so the point is, go ahead and write down, blog post titles that stand out to you, and also write down lead magnets that they might have that stand out to you. Also put links next to those titles so you can reference the articles later. Okay. Now, next, I want you to go to BuzzSumo, and I want you to enter in the blog URL, buzzsumo.com. Enter in the blog URL, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use mine for an example. Mine might be too small of a blog. I don't work on building it really that much. Let's go ahead and I'm surprised that there's nothing there. Okay, so here's another blog here, and I want you to do this for all 5 of the blogs that you got, your top blogs, and I want you to see what BuzzSumo is pulling back for the blog, for what its top posts are. And I want you to go ahead and write these down on your list too, and go ahead and put a link next to those so you can reference those articles. Okay, so after that, next, what I want you to do is I want you to go to Quora. Quora.com. We're not going to do that here because it'd take forever if we did all this stuff. But go to Quora.com. I want you to type in 4 specific questions on the specific area you are addressing. Okay. How to hire someone who operates in your sub niche, right? Whatever your niche is. How to create, your main product or service in your sub niche. How to learn your sub niche. How to start your sub niche. So, for example, how to hire an email marketer, right? Someone who operates in your sub niche, right? How to create good email marketing, or how to create good emails that make money, right? How to learn email marketing, how to start email marketing, right? Like that, basically. Enter those 4 specific questions into Quora, and you're going to get some results back. And I want you to write these potential calls to action down. They're all potential calls to action. They're going to be questions and answers related to your niche. And what these little exercises I'm showing you are doing is they're getting you in tune with the pulse of your market, right? They're letting you know what are some of the main problems that people in your niche are having, right? And that's what you're doing, right? So I want you to write those potential calls to action down. Now what I want you to do is I want you to look for common elements, okay? With all the calls to action you have, what are some of the common elements that you see happening? What are some of the problems that are cropping up over and over again? What are some of these blogs and things using for lead magnets over and over again? Now, this is not cut and dry, right? It's open to interpretation. So you need to look at your list, you need to look at the data you've gathered, and you need to kind of like interpret it a little bit. See common elements and themes that you see popping up and over again. And then I want you to create your own, I want you to craft your own call to action based on these and the research you did on the blogs. Okay. So I want you to craft your own unique call to action based on these things and the research you did on the blogs. Okay. So that's it for part A. Now let's get into part B. Okay. Second, easy, right? Create the lead magnet based off of the call to action. Once you got a good call to action, it's downhill. Now you just need to create the lead magnet. How do you do it? Use the blog articles and the Quora Q&A that you referenced. Use those for reference material and craft the lead magnet. Whatever you chose for a call to action, go ahead and craft it based off the knowledge from those blog articles, based off the answers from the Quora Q&A stuff you found. All right, go ahead and get that done. After you crafted the lead magnet, third, what you want to do is you want to get the squeeze page set up and connected to deliver your lead magnet. So you need to build a squeeze page. You need to connect it to an autoresponder. You need to write a welcome email, and that email is going to go out automatically whenever somebody signs up. That welcome email is going to deliver the lead magnet. And what you want to do is you want to broadcast that welcome email to all your existing leads, right? That's pretty cool, right? It's going to actually give your existing leads the lead magnet. Pretty neat. I'll tell you what, I'll give you another trick in a little bit that will actually take that and actually help you get more leads. Because if you do it just like this, it's great. It's going to give your existing leads, because when you did part one, you got some outreach, right? You did some manual outreach and you got some people on your list before you even created a lead magnet. Now you can email all those people now. Is what I'm saying here. You can broadcast to them and just give them a link to your lead magnet, and that'll be great. But you can actually do something else that'll help you get even more people on your list, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But anyways, go ahead and write a welcome email and set it up in your autoresponder so that future leads that come to your list will get the welcome email automatically. Now this part right here, broadcast the message to your leads. You can do that if you want to, but I suggest holding off on this right now. Just set up the welcome email and the autoresponder, and just hold off on this little guy right here, because I got another way that we can use this to get even more leads in a bit. But get this third step done, basically. And you'll know what I mean in a minute. I'm not trying to be like vague or confusing, but I'm not trying to throw too much at you either. Basically, you just want to get the squeeze page set up, get it connected to an autoresponder, write a welcome email, and set it to where it's going out whenever someone opts in. Okay. Don't worry about the people that are already on the list yet. We'll get to those in a second. We're going to use this lead magnet for those people too. And you might think, oh man, what's the point of sending people that are already on my list to the lead magnet? They're already on my list. Right. Well, it used to be like, well, you're just creating goodwill, right? You're creating goodwill by sending them to the thing. But now you can actually use them to even get more people on your list. And I'll show you how to do it in a minute. But anyways, for now, just get that done. Let me close the lead magnet up. Oh, I'll tell you one more thing about the lead magnet thing. When it comes to part B, create the lead magnet, what works really good is cheat sheets, you guys. Cheat sheets works really good. They're easy to consume. They don't take very long to create, and they work really well. So just keep it in mind. Let me go ahead and close this lead magnet thing. Okay, guest emailing. Guest emailing is another strategy that not a lot of people, you don't see a lot of people using this, but this is another strategy you can use to build your email list, right? But basically, step one is find someone with an audience or a customer base that's similar to yours. Step two, you ask them to email your lead magnet or webinar, white paper, resource guide, whatever, to their audience, whatever your lead magnet is. Then step three, in exchange, offer to email one of their lead magnets or webinar, white paper, resource guide, etc. to your audience. Now, in truth, these are three great steps, but in truth, guys, this actually works better like if you do it in reverse. If you offer to mail their thing first, it actually works better. You basically reach out to them, compliment them, break the ice, tell them they're awesome, and then you say, hey, listen, man, would it be okay if I, would it be okay if I emailed your lead magnet to my list? I think it's really cool. I think they get some benefit out of it. I can probably bring you however many subscribers. You don't really want to use this kind of tactic until you get at least 100 people on your email list, right? But anyways, you can do that. And then once they say, yeah, that's fine, no problem, go ahead and do it. And then you reach out to them and ask if, just say, hey, I got this free thing that your list might be interested in. Would would you be interested in mailing it out to your list? I think it would offer a lot of benefit to your audience. Once you've already done something for them, now it becomes a lot easier for them to do it for you. You know what I mean? There's a reciprocation factor. So anyways, guest emailing is a good way to build your list, especially when you're reaching out to people that have lists and audiences that are in similar size to yours, if that makes sense. When you start reaching out to big people, don't expect a lot of results with guest emailing. But if you got a few hundred people on your list and you know someone else is getting started, they got a few hundred people on their list, you can do something like this. And you're basically you're basically swapping leads, you know. So anyways, that's guest emailing. And like I said, that's the strategy you can look at once you get over 100 leads or so. Let's go ahead and close this. Guest posting. Guest posting with intent to extend the conversation. So you guys know about guest posting already, I'm sure. Guest posting, you basically go around to blogs in your space. You ask them, what you want to do with a guest posting is you want to study a blog in your space first. Look at the kind of content that's on their blog. Look for a hole in the content, something that you think it would be interesting to their audience, something that's in line with the stuff they're already writing, but they don't have anything on it yet. Go ahead and write that post, right? Write that freaking post before you even reach out to them. And then once you reach out to them, just let them know, hey, man, I just finished an article. I haven't published it anywhere yet, but I think it would be perfect for your site. You know, and basically ask them if they'd be interested in giving you a guest post spot, right? And if they say yes, they might say, hey, let me see the article. So you show them the article, and then once you get approved, boom, guest post. But here's the thing about your guest post. What you want to do is you want to continue the conversation, right? You want to write the guest post with an intent to continue the conversation. And what I mean by that is, let's say you're giving them, let's say the guest post is something like, hey, listen, I found 10, over the years, I've been doing internet marketing for a long time. And, over the years, I found 10 methods that are really, really effective when it comes to building my email list. I want to share my favorite 3 with you right here, right now. And then you go into like your favorite 3 and you go into a little bit of detail. It's a really nice post, right? It's a good post. And then what you do is you say, hey, if you're interested in the other 7 of these, you can check them out right here. Boom. And a link to your squeeze page, right? A link to your lead magnet, where you'll have like the other 7, right? You'll have the whole thing, right? And they'll get it all. And what that is intent to extend the conversation. You're giving them a lot of great value right there, but then you're also giving them, you're incentivizing them to go on and opt in and get on your list, right? That's pretty awesome. That's the way you want to guest post. You don't want to guest post and just have a link to your bio or something. That's not going to convert very well. But if you guest post with an intent to extend the conversation, it will get a lot of emails on your list for you. Okay, so just keep it in mind. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is number 9, incentivize your lead magnet on the thank you page. Okay, so what am I talking about? So when I say incentivize your lead magnet on the thank you page, what I'm talking about is after somebody opts in, generally they go to like a thank you page, like, hey, thanks for signing up. Check your email inbox in 5 minutes. It'll be there. So that's how you do that, right? But that's just a generic thank you page. What if on that thank you page it said something like this? It said that stuff. Hey, thanks. Check your email inbox. Your free thing will be there within 5 minutes, right? But it also said underneath that, say, hey, do you want to upsize your bonuses? Would you like to go extra on your bonuses? I'll give you 2 more awesome extra things if you share my lead magnet, right? If you share this, and you'll have like the little button right there to share, and when they share it on Facebook or when they share it on Twitter or wherever, what'll happen is they'll get an extra lead magnet. You'll have an extra thing to give them, and what'll happen is when they share it in those places, you'll get more traffic to your squeeze page, right? And you might think, well, how do I do that? That sounds technical. Now we come back to growth tools, right? Because growth tools actually has something that'll do that for you. So this is called Go Viral, right? It's Go Viral, and it's a free little tool from Growth Tools, and this will help you incentivize your thank you page. It's a really cool little tool, man, and it's completely free. But anyways, so what happens is when you incentivize your thank you page right there, you will get more leads on your email list. Now, I have to admit, I don't have my thank you page personally incentivized because I have my thank you page pitching a paid product. So, you know, when I think about it, honestly, it doesn't really convert very well. So it might be better just to incentivize the squeeze page instead with like Go Viral or something. So anyways, but this is another sneaky little way to grow your email list even bigger. And then the next one and the end of part 2 is viral email campaign for more leads. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier and lead magnet right here. Okay, let me open this back up. When I said write a welcome email to deliver lead magnet and broadcast it to your existing leads, because you got a bunch of people on your list in part 1 when you did that manual outreach. Instead of this, now you could do a viral email campaign for more leads. And then here's how that works, right? So use Go Viral to get existing leads to promote your lead magnet. So you can use that same tool, Go Viral. And what it'll do is you say, hey, listen, this is the message you'll send out to your existing leads. You'll say, hey, listen, I just put together a really cool little report or a really cool little checklist, really cool cheat sheet, whatever you created for your lead magnet. Go here and check it out. And you say this to your list, right? You give them a link. When they go to the link, it'll ask them to share with their Facebook or share with their Twitter or share with wherever to get instant access to the thing, right? So what that'll do is that'll get other people. And when they share that with other people, when those other people click, they're going to go to your squeeze page to opt in, right? So in effect, what you're doing is you're incentivizing your existing list to share your lead magnet with other people. And this will get more emails on your list. It's pretty cool, man. And that's a free tool that you can use over there on Growth Tools. So anyways, and that's I'll tell you what, man, that's a really effective little strategy right there. No doubt about it. So anyways, guys, let me go ahead and highlight part 2 here. And that wraps up part 2. I hope that's been helpful to you guys. And I will see you guys in part 3. We are moving right along.